a free masterclass. We are going to be discussing about stock trading for beginners. Okay, so my name is Omara Garuba. I'm a lawyer, finance. I'm a lawyer and a finance coach. Okay, I have over 18 years experience in law, financial services, and consulting. So I've worked in over 3 banks as a banker and as an investment banker at that. So I've done Heritage Bank, First City Monument Bank, and I have been in Standard Chartered Bank. So right now, what I do is I coach women. So I coach middle income and high net worth women on how to stock their way to wealth through strategic savings, stock trading investments, private placement investment, wills and estate planning. Okay, I will be sharing my screen later on, but right now, at this session, I'll be speaking for just a few minutes, and I bring to you my 18 years experience in law and financial services. I bring to you my experience as a stock investor, and then I bring to you my experience from my grandfather, who was an avid stock trader. So imagine a man born in 1898 and already knows everything about stocks, and he built a lot of his investment around that. So I'm bringing all the practical experience. Deborah is going to talk to us, teach us after I do, and she's a chartered stockbroker. She's also experienced over a decade in stockbroking and other financial services. She's going to speak to us about that. And then Victoria will handle our technical issues today. So we have a full day and a fantastic time. So while all of this session is going on, without being distracted, just ensure that you type your questions in the chat box so that after each session, I can moderate and then pick up your questions so that everyone can be happy today. I hope that you are ready to be an investor. And I also hope that you will also learn from here that stock trading is not just about making money, it's also about company ownership. And that's the story of my grandfather. My grandfather bought stock like his whole life depended on it. He was so good at it that he even willed it to his children. So you can imagine somebody buying stock, not just for money, but also for company ownership. And he became major shareholder of some companies that his children now became directors of those companies. So those are the things you're going to learn here today. And you also learn how to take profit immediately, how to identify stocks that pay dividends. And some of you that maybe you have bought stock in the past and you are still trying to get them, we'll talk about that as well, okay? So anytime I speak and you cannot hear me, please do let me know in the chat box so that, because I do not want anybody, I do not want anybody to miss out on anything at all, okay? Somebody said my volume is low, okay? So I do not want anybody to miss out on anything at all. So I'm taking the chat. I'm also doing what we should do here. So my audio is low. Is it better now? Okay. If it's better now, do let me know as we get started. Okay. So briefly, I will just share my screen because I want to give you an idea of what I do in a nutshell before the next speaker. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Okay, so that is me. And this is me, like I said. I am your money coach. And what I do is what I've been doing in the last 15 years of my 18 years experience. A lawyer and finance coach with over 18 years experience in law, financial services, and consulting. I coach middle income and high net worth women on how to stock their way to wealth. There's a way we do strategy, we save strategically, stock trading investment, private placement investment, wills, and estate planning. I have coached over 200 women who have successfully learned the art of stocking their way to wealth. So interestingly, some men have actually joined us, which is okay. So if you're a man and you are here, don't be left out. Just make sure that you learn as much as you can learn. And if you would like to join my coaching community, you can also do that. I have 3 books. I have books on stocking your way to wealth. I have 100 days wealthy affirmation. I also have how to get the best from your mentor. You can buy those books. I will share those links later. In the course of the session, I will also ask that you follow us on my socials. We have a YouTube TV, Women Wealth and Wills TV, where you get educated on so many financial literacy terms, experiences, investment opportunities, and all of that. I have a TikTok page and Instagram page, as you can see. So feel free to follow, and I will share the link as we get started.
Hello, Coach.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry, we can't see your screen, and I'm sure because of the sharing, you can't see us raise our hands either. We couldn't see your screen.
Ooh.
Yeah,
See my
I just
screen.
thought to draw
Wow.
that to your attention.
Okay. I'm surprised. Okay. Technology is
It was just blank. The screen was just blank. Yes.
Okay, I'm about to share Deborah's presentation. I hope you'll be able to see that, but let me just try and open it. Give me a second. Our presentation is open. So let me try and see if we can see this right now. Okay, somebody, you are screen sharing, yes. Can you see this screen?
Yes, it's up. Yes.
Yes. Oh, you can see this?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to take my own again later because you have to see mine too. No problem. Anyway, so Deborah, are you ready for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. You have the floor. Introduce yourself and you can get started.
Okay. Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deborah Konde. I am a chartered stockbroker with 12 years experience in the capital markets of Nigeria. I am also registered with the Chartered Institute of Investments in the UK, and I also have my registration with the Securities and Exchange as a licensed capital market operator here in Nigeria. I currently head the brokerage. Can you hear me, please?
Yes,
can anyone hear me? Okay,
I can hear you.
All right, thank you. So I currently head the brokerage service department with AfriInvest Securities. AfriInvest Securities. I have on the call my colleague Victoria Adegboyega. She will be taking us part of the presentation later on. So AfriInvest Securities is a subsidiary of AfriInvest West Africa. AfriInvest West Africa is a financial boutique with about 6 other companies, 6 subsidiaries, been around for 28 years in the business of investment banking, stock trading, asset management, fintech, and so many other business, trustee business, and all of that. So I am standing in here as a team member of the AfriInvest Securities to talk to us about stock investments for beginners. So from the poll, I would not know the result of the poll, but I want to believe that I have a blend of both beginners, middle class, advanced people, enthusiasts, and everyone. The group is complete on this call. So I'm just going to be taking it from the scratch like we all are. beginners. The next slide, please. Hello. Okay, so the other time I was talking about AfriInvest West Africa. AfriInvest Securities is one of the subsidiaries. And what we do at AfriInvest Securities, our products, we offer investment opportunities across different instruments. The equity instrument, that is what we are dealing with today, the stock, treasury bills, the government instruments, commercial papers from corporations, federal government bonds, federal government savings bonds, AfriTrack. AfriTrack is like our customized service that is offered to people who probably have bought shares in years ago and couldn't tell the whereabouts of the stocks, or they have unclaimed dividends lying with the registrars, they want to claim their dividends, or they have the shares of their loved ones who had passed on, and they are looking for how to make use of it or how to make the best out of those shares. So AfriTrack service is like a recovery service that helps people to gather their portfolio from different places where it could be. So in case you had bought a share in time past and you cannot tell where the shares are, you are even worried maybe they have been stolen or you can no longer recover them, I bring good news to you today that you still have those shares. All we will do is you sign up on this service and then we'll get you onboarded and we'll commence the process of searching for these shares with your authority to do, and then we get it recovered for you at a fee that is very accommodative, and you can always trust us on rates. Next slide, ma'am. We are going to be talking about stock investment today, which is like our core product. The next slide, please. So stock investments, like I said earlier, I'm going to be taking this like as if I'm talking to beginners. By stock, we hear people say stock, some call it shares, some say equities. They all mean the same thing. And what does this stock actually mean? Stock is more or less a unit of holding in a company where you have invested in. This is what I mean. Take, for instance, that you and a group of friends bought a plate of pizza. Pizza is sliced into maybe 8 slices, 8 triangles of 16 triangles, as the case may be. A piece of that triangle that belongs to you is your unit of holding in that pizza. The same way it works in the shares market. If you're buying into a company, if the company had issued 1 million units of shares and you have bought 10,000 units, the 10,000 is your own unit of holding that qualifies you to be a shareholder in that company. So buying stock is simply putting your money into the company that you have invested in. And these companies come to raise money for different reasons, basically to grow and to expand their businesses. Stock trading is a long-term investment, ranging from like 5 years upward. On the minimum, say 12 years, 12 months, 1 to 12 months on the minimum, if you must get the best benefits from the stock market. Be ready to go long-term. On the minimum, if you are one that's, investors have different objectives why they come to market to come and invest in the market. Different objectives. So if your objective is short-term, the stock investments may not be the best for you. I can no longer see the slide. Hello? Can anyone else see the slide?
Yes, it's coming back on.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. Oh.
It's back on. Can you all see it now? Can you see the slide?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's go on. So I was saying that your unit of holdings, the amount to which you have invested in that firm, is what makes you or what qualifies you as to become a shareholder. And this gives you the right to be part of the profits and the loss in the event is a loss that the company is reporting. It gives you the right to be part of this profit and the losses that the company may probably be reporting. So as a shareholder, Being part of the profit means that whenever the company declares profit and a part of that profit is paid out in the form of dividend, we call that dividend, you are going to be taking part of it as your own return on investment. So shares investments, like Madam Lara started, it has stood the test of time. It's an age-long traditional investment that has been tested to weather any storm. Regardless of what market fluctuations may be, shares investment still continues. It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's not something that fizzle out. You see it today, you don't see it tomorrow. No, that's not shares. So the moment you have invested in a fundamentally sound company, you can be rest assured that you have a lifetime investment in your hand. The slide is off again. Hello. Hello. Can anyone hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see the screen.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, Ma. Okay, so on the last slide, I have the reasons why you will be buying into a stocks. You know, there are different investment opportunities out there. The real estate, the mutual funds, different money market instruments that you can invest in. But why shares? Why stock? There are two distinct benefits that stood out for stocks, unlike other investment opportunity where you have maybe just one. In stock markets, you are either investing for capital appreciation. By capital appreciation, I'm saying you put in your money into a stock today, and tomorrow, say for instance, you bought a GT Bank stock yesterday, it was trading 14 naira 10 kobo per share. And today, you get back to the market and the same GTB is trading 45 naira or more or less, depending on what market conditions are prevailing at that point in time. In the instance where it is trading on the upside, you are getting additional money on what you have invested. That is what we mean by capital appreciation. It's two ways. You can decide to either sell your stock at that point in time, take your gains. And these gains, another benefit is these capital gains are not taxed. Unlike the case of dividend where you have a 10% withholding tax that applies on it. So when you're taking your gains in the capital appreciation form, you can as well still, you know, like we say, you can't eat your cake and have it. In stock market, you can have it. You can eat your cake and still have it. This is what I mean. You can take capital appreciation on a stock today, like GT Bank. I know that GT Bank, I'm using GT Bank just as an example. There are numerous stocks, over 150 stocks that are listed on the Nigerian exchange market. So you can take maybe a UBA Bank or a Dangote Cement shares. Today, you bought into the shares, like say for instance last week, and today you go to look at your portfolio, you see that there is an appreciation and you're comfortable with the percentage gains. You want to move on, or you want to move on to another stock where you have seen an opportunity. So when you sell that stocks, you take your gains. Your gains are not taxed. Your capital gains are not taxed. And what I was saying by eating your cake and having it is, the same stock where you have taken your gains, you can still earn dividends. So far, the period where you're taking your gain is not after the dividend had been declared or before it had been declared. So when you're taking your gains, like this period in January, most companies, banks specifically, they are to release their financial results, their full year 2023 result. They are to release it 90 days after, meaning beginning from March 30, they are mandated to release their audited results. So when they are rolling out this result, the full year result, they also announce their corporate actions. Corporate action is the dividends they are paying out, the bonuses they may decide to also share with their investors. So when you are doing the stock capital appreciation, you are taking your gains. If you are taking your gains around January, you already know that this stock will be declaring its dividend around March. You can come back into the market with the same money that you have pulled out, your gains. You can come back and buy more units, depending on what the price is doing at the point in time of that stock. Buy more units in anticipation of that dividend that will be declared in March for payment in April. So that investor is not just taking capital gain. The investor is taking capital gain plus the dividend income. That way, we'll say the investor has the maximum return on shareholding. This is not available in other instruments, other investment instruments or vehicles. You only get it in shares. In other investment instruments, like the federal government bonds, once you get your coupon, which is the interest payments, that's all. Nothing more is accrued to you. You cannot share any part of the profit of the company that you have invested in. Some instances, you may not even know, like maybe a federal government investment, you may not even know what you have invested in. Because it's government, we all say, okay, it's government, and government will just take it because it is backed by the full faith and credit of the government. It goes into their hand. They use it for whatsoever means. Sometimes they target to an infrastructure development, but you cannot be part of the shareholder of that infrastructure. It's only the shares investment that offers you this opportunity. You would, as long as you continue to hold that shares or that stock, you are a lifetime shareholder until the day you sell your parts, you sell your units, then you cease to become a shareholder. That does not mean that you cannot come back into that same shares to continue to be a shareholder. So a lot of benefits accrue to a shareholder. It can be transferred to your children, your grandchildren. Madam Lara had already cited an instance where her grandfather transferred it to the grandchildren, and the grandchildren in turn become directors. So they must have owned significant volume or units of shares in such companies for them to have risen to the position of directors. So shares investments has a lot of opportunity. It is very, very liquid. It's not an investment where you hold and then you want to dispose of it, it becomes a problem. So far you have invested in fundamentally sound stocks. When you're investing in a stock in, say for instance, in the Nigerian market, typically you have 4 days. If you invest it today, and then say for instance, you're selling, when you sell a stocks today, in 3 days, 3 working days after, you are getting all your proceeds in your bank accounts. Another interesting thing about the Nigerian market that makes stocks investment very, very interesting to investors now, unlike those days where we had market infractions, we now have a system called the DCS. The DCS is like the direct cash settlement system. You don't need to go after any stockbroker or any stockbroking firm to be calling them for your payments anymore. So far, you are registered as a DCS investor. Your money comes to you on the 3rd day of your investment without any hassle, without lifting a finger. So stock investment has become much and much transparent. There is a lot of integrity in the market now. People no longer have to fear any form of market manipulations or infractions. So a lot of things, a lot of opportunities await anyone that is coming on board the stock markets. Can we move on to this next slide, please? Yeah, so we have talked about why you should invest in a stock market, the benefit that you accrue. Now is how do you invest? To invest in a stock market, I will start by saying, like myself, I like to, whenever I come in contact with anyone who is showing interest in stock market, I like to profile them. I like to ask, what are your objectives, your investment objective? Because you must have an objective. That objective will continue to drive you, to continue to propel you in your investment journey. Recall that I started by saying that stock investment is a long-term investment. If you do not have an objective that is driving you, you may, at the slightest shakings in the market, you may fizzle out. But if you have an objective that is driving you, that objective will continue to propel you forward, regardless of whatsoever market fluctuations that may be experienced during the period when you are investing. So the first thing to do is to have an objective at the back of your mind. I want to invest in stock. Why do I want to invest in stock? Am I building a portfolio for my children? Am I building a portfolio for myself? Do I have a project I want to finance in 5 years' time, 10 years' time? And I want my investment returns to finance this project. I do not want to bring money from my pockets to do this. You may create a portfolio to finance projects. Some people create portfolio to finance their children's wedding, to finance their children's higher education. So for different reasons, we have different investment opportunities, ranging from whether you are a long-term investor or a trader. Traders are speculators, people who just come in for a short time. They have the money, they trade with every money. They come in for a short time, take the gains in the market. They move out when the market is down. They come back again when the market is low, buy again, sell over. So they are traders. But for investors are long-term holders. So 3 actions that takes place in the stock market is either you're a buyer, a seller, or you are holding at the point in time. You are belonging to one of these 3 positions: the buy, the sell, and the hold. So when you have your objective, the next thing to do is, what approach do you want to adopt? Do you want to be buying on a monthly basis? Do you want to be buying stock on a quarterly basis? Depending on what your cash flow is like. If you're a salary earner, the best advice is, okay, set a budget for yourself on a monthly basis. I want to keep away 5% of my earnings. So buy shares on a monthly basis rather than keep that money in the bank account that is yielding nothing. You can bring the same into the stock market. On a monthly basis, you already know that this is what I can afford. If I will not have any emergency need for this money, and so I'm locking it up in the stock market. That's why I'm saying that you should, first and foremost, before embarking on your stock investment journey, determine what your objectives are and the approach you want to use. These 2 things are very key, as they will continue to help you to continue on your investment journey. After doing that, the next important thing is to research. Make research, find out about the company. I want to invest in Dangote Cement. Okay, what's Dangote Cement doing? What has the company been like in the last 5 years? What their finances like? I want to know more. You can go on Google, go to Dangote Cement sites, download their financials, look through it. Okay, you do not have knowledge of how to analyze a financial statement. You can get professional guidelines on how to analyze a financial statement. Is this company doing well? Have they had any issues in the last 5 years? Will they continue to be a going concern? All of these things, you need to be sure that you are putting your money in a company that is having assets, true assets, that have quality assets that backs their businesses. You don't just want to follow the bandwagon of investing in anything that is moving. No. So it is always very good that you take time to research, learn more. This research I'm saying, I am not saying it has to be something very robust that you will spend years upon. You read a lot of paper, dissect a lot of journals. No. Just by Googling and going up on the site of the company to check with them, asking your stockbrokers, what has this stock been doing in the last 6 weeks? What has this stock been doing in the last 12 months? Those little things, and then following the market news, following sites, social media sites like Madam Lara Garuba has an IG page that teaches on investment. They share tips, following market news. All of these things cumulatively form the research that I am talking about here. So it's not a big deal kind of research that you have to spend money on data. No. After that, set a budget. I've already talked about this before. This is the most important, because you cannot be doing it haphazardly. Today you put 10,000, and then tomorrow you need that 10,000. You want to pick it. You will not fetch anything. You will be paying commissions, transaction charges, and you are not getting returns if you have to be doing that. Because if you cannot stay to a minimum of 6 months on a stock, I don't think you will benefit the most from it. You will be paying the service of the stockbrokers, the charges and all of that. So set a budget. Let this fund be such that you will not have need for it in a near time. Once that is done, the other advice is that you should stick to the budget. Stick to this budget and then continue on and on like that as you have planned. If you have maybe a rise in your pay, your salary, your income increases, you can also increase the budget. Then the next thing is to open an account, open a stockbroking account with a stockbroking firm. AfriInvest Security is a stockbroking firm. We've been in the business for 28 years now, running up to our 30 years. And we have been tested and trusted. I will not want to blow our trumpets. My colleague Victoria is on the call. She'll be talking more when it's time on how to open an account. We have a mobile app where you can simply download from wherever you are, create your account, and begin your stock market investment journey. Then the next thing after this is to select your stocks. So my best advice to people, whenever you're selecting stocks into your basket, into your portfolio, I'm still on that slide now. Whenever you're selecting stocks into your portfolio, I usually advise, don't carry too much eggs in that basket. On the maximum, select 10 stocks on the maximum across major sectors of the market. Sectors that drive the market, the banking sector, the construction sector, the FMCG group. Sectors that are very liquid, that are like, they are necessity, they are always in demand, they are not luxury goods. So when you are selecting from these sectors, you know that day in, day out, coming whether rain or sun, your stock is in the right sector, the sector that would always be part of the economic activity. So for my own personal portfolio, I do not have more than 5 stocks. Why? Because it helps in your management of your portfolio. Management becomes very easy and effective. Unlike when you have to carry 20 stocks, 30 stocks, and you don't even know what each company, you have to check at every point in time, you lose track. So it's always advised that you don't carry too many eggs in this stock basket. You carry very few. It will allow you effective management, and then you can get the best of returns. Why I say the best of return is because stock investment is a game of numbers. The more that you have in a stock, the more the return that you have. The volume commands the return. Imagine you having a 1 million units of GTB, and GTB is declaring 3 Naira dividend per share. GTB comes with dividend twice in a year. Maybe the final dividend is 3 Naira. You have a 1 million. It means that you are expecting nothing short of 2.7 million Naira as dividend for that year. I said 2.7 because the 3 million that is accrued to you will be taxed with 10% withholding tax. Now compare yourself to someone who has 10,000 units in GTB, 10,000 units in UBA, 10,000 units in Nigerian breweries, all around scattered like that. When they pull all of this together, their income or dividend income may not even amount to a million Naira. So stock market is a game of numbers. The more you have in a particular stock, the better your returns are, and the better manage your portfolio are. So that takes me to the last point here, which is managing your portfolio. We had already dealt with this. Managing portfolio is easy when your basket is not heavy. You can easily manage your portfolio. So when your basket is not heavy, you manage your portfolio very easily. So that is that on how to invest in the stock market. The next thing to consider as an intending investor in the stock market are the factors. Why are you buying shares? Why do you want to buy shares? I talked about investment objective before. The valuation of the company that you are investing to, I also mentioned, I talked about this earlier. Then what is your risk tolerance as an individual? Are you one that is ready to take high risk? I will not lie, stock market is a very risky venture. Stock market investment is very risky. And we would all attest here that the more the risk an investor takes, the higher the returns they get. So there is a commensurate returns to whatever risk that you are exposed to in the stock market. You will need to determine from the start, am I ready to take on so much risk? If you're one that is average on risk consumption, you may want to do in your portfolio, your investment portfolio, you may want to do 40% on stock, 50% on money markets, 10% on savings. That is like a generic allocation of funds. In other instances, some person may want to be doing 80% on stock because they can assume the risk. They have the risk appetite to go for it. And the other 20%, they may want to go to money market investment because money market investment pays lower returns compared to the stock market investment. Then dividends and earnings. We talked about this when we were talking about the benefits of investing in stock markets. For dividend income, it is the money, the part of the profits the company pays out that is being shared to their investors. That's dividend. The earnings is the capital appreciation on your investment. You have put in 10,000 today. In another 4 months, in another 3 months, your 10,000 has become 12,000. It has become 15,000, as the case may be. Then your research, I've also talked about this. The market condition, yes. By market condition, I mean, what are the factors that are driving the economy of that market at that point in time? Like, currently Nigeria is being pressured with inflation and so many other microeconomic indicators that are on the negative side. Inflation is very high now, and the only place where the return is matching and surpassing inflation. Currently in Nigeria now is in the stock market. Inflation rate is at 28.9 as of the last report. The stock market as at end of January has returned 31%. It's the only market that is matching up with inflation. You want to check what are the market conditions at that point in time when you're investing. If you're investing in, say, for instance, like in the cement industry, the construction industry, where you have Dangote Cement, Boa Cement, and a few other stocks. And at the point in time, there is a government policy that is against that market, that is against the cement industry. It would impact on your investments. You may not, it's advised that you don't go in that direction at that point in time because the policy is anti-market at the point in time. So you want to check what are the market conditions around this sector that I want to invest in. At the point where you want to invest, are there positive catalysts? Are there negative policies from the government or any news about the company? You know, even news about the company can also impact the share price of the stock in the market. If you wake up tomorrow on the pages of the dailies, you find Dangote Cement as Dangote Cement truck crushed so numbers of people, a lot of life lost. If there is an headline like that, be ready to see the impact in the market. It may change the direction of the price of the stock in the market. It could be positive, it could be negative. So you are following the news to know what these market conditions are and how they impact on your portfolio. Diversification, this is another very big factor to consider. I already said a little about it. By diversification, we mean you have a well-balanced portfolio. You don't want to put all your eggs in a basket. You don't want to put your 100% funds in stocks alone. And when you're even putting it in stocks, you're not putting it in just one stock. You are spreading it across sectors that are the market drivers, sectors that are very liquid. Time horizon, by time horizon, I already said something around this too. You are determining for yourself, okay, I want to be in this market until perpetuity. I want to be here for 5 years. I want to be doing this. I'm raising this portfolio to fund so projects in 10 years time. So your time horizon has been defined. Oh, I just want to play around the market. It means you are a trader. You are not an investor. Your time horizon is not stable. It's not regular. In your own case, we cannot really say you have a time horizon. Then company management, who are the managers of the firm that you are investing into? Are they people of caliber? Are they people that are following corporate governance and policies? Or are they market manipulators? You want to check all of these things. You may not be able to check these things by going through the pages of paper on a daily basis. This news comes from different platforms. Nairametrics is a very good platform to follow for market news. Then professional advice. Professional advice are from people like myself, stockbrokers, people like Madam Lara, finance coach, and other finance-related professionals. You can always get advice. If you are not sure of the move you are about to take, you can seek advice. So all of these considerations are very important before you go into stock investment. You must be able to guard yourself. They are the arsenals that you need for a beneficial stock investing journey. So the next slide, ma'am. Okay, so now we are talking about the keynotes, the key, like when you begin to invest in the market, you'll be hearing of all these terminologies. I just want to talk a little about them. I mentioned direct cash settlements. Before now, like some 15, 20 years ago, we don't have this service in the market, direct cash settlement. Direct cash settlements allows you as an investor, when you invest in the market, you make a sales of any stock today, your proceeds are paid into your account, your bank account that you registered with, upon the settlement of that trade. Settlement cycle in Nigeria is still T+3, meaning T day, the transaction day, and 3 working days. That is the end of the cycle. You get your money in your account. Your contract notes, they are the investment certificate that you receive from the stockbroking outfit that you are dealing with. Once you buy, a contract note is automatically generated and sent to your email address. When you're dealing with any stockbroking firm, if you do not get this contract note in 24 hours, please question why. Something might not be right somewhere. You need to follow It's the only thing that guarantees you that you have invested in that market at that point in time. Another thing to ask for is your CSCS statement. Your CSCS statement can stand in as your investment certificate. You can present it at embassies. You can use it as to collateralize any investment that you want to do. Maybe you want to buy property and someone is giving you mortgage. You can present your CSCS statement to show that you have shares. Is your proof of ownership. X-alert is a telecom service that you get whenever you make purchases, whenever you make sales, you get an instant alert on your phone to advise you of what has been bought, at how much price and all of that. So if you get a different narration in your contract note, you can compare it with what the X-alert is giving. The X-alert is a service of the Nigerian exchange. It's not within the control of any stockbroking firm. Then the charges and brokerage fee. The standard charge for markets activity, stock market activity, either you are buying or you're selling, for brokerage commission is 1.35. This is negotiable based on the volume of your transaction. You may get concessions with some stockbrokers like AfriInvest. Your transaction volume will determine what concession that you can get. And then there are some other statutory charges. So whenever you're buying, a total of 2.08% is charged on your consideration. Consideration is the total amount that you are investing with. When you're selling, a total of 1.85% is charged. That is inclusive of the brokerage fee that I mentioned earlier. Then the market cycle, I'd already talked about the market cycle, is T+3. Market is working to reduce this. I will not be surprised if in another few months we get T+2, but as of this moment, the market cycle in Nigeria is T+3. So that takes me to trading stock with AfriInvestor. My colleague Victoria will be handling that session, practical session on how to open your account and how to begin your stock market investment via our mobile platform. Victoria, please confirm you're on the call.
Okay, before Victoria comes on, which will be shortly, I just wanted to say thank you, Deborah, for that very insightful session.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's the best that I've seen so far, especially for people who are new, because you really broke it down. The next thing I wanted to say was for people who are asking, because I know some of you might just not wait till the end so that you get the proper information. Can you see my screen now? Or it's still not showing?
It's black.
Black.
Yeah.
Even till now. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
The screen is trying to come up, but it's not showing anything.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll just talk us through it. And so for people who are asking, how do we get started? How do we reach out and all of that? What I'm going to say to us is that as a finance coach, one of the things that I do is to hold you by the hand and take you through it. Okay, so apart from what you are hearing now, there will always be a practical way that you can, somebody sitting down beside you and you say, click here, which is always helpful. And in my coaching community, we don't just do stock trading. So we also do savings, strategic savings in some profitable accounts. We also do stock trading. So at stock trading, in my community, I give stock recommendations every week. I mean, what to buy, what to sell, what to accumulate. But of course, it's based on what your objectives are from the beginning. I will show you stocks to select. I will show you stocks that pay dividends and what you should be buying based on your risk appetite. Because once you join the community, I do like a financial diagnosis skill with you, check where you are and what kind of risk appetite you have. So based on that, I always give stock recommendation. I show you stocks to select. I show you stocks to sell as at when due. And that happens every week in the community. The third thing I also do is when there are private placements. So private placement investment gives more ROI, return on investment. but they are private because they are not publicly published. But we work with verified companies and organizations who have been in this business for over 20 years. So it's shared in the community only, and people take opportunity. Some people get up to 18% on their investment in 60 days, in 90 days. We also do wills and estate planning. So there are 3 communities that I have. There's the general community where all of this take place, which is just 50,000 for 1 year. There's the premium exclusive community, which is 240, where you don't all just get all of this. You also have a one-on-one with me and other financial experts. And then you have access to overseas investments, including properties and rates. Okay, that's the difference between premium and general. Then I also have the 1 million naira group, who are only high net worth individuals. Those ones have a bespoke package. So the package is set for them. So there is no one size fits all for them. So if you are thinking of starting, you should plan to join. And then whatever you learn from here will be practically taken. So my style of coaching is not just for you put money somewhere and go. I sit down with you on onboarding you. I show you exactly what to do by yourself. In fact, I have a 65-year-old woman who is talking every day. So it's not about age. Once I show you clearly and I guide you, you ask me as many questions as you want, you can do it beautifully by yourself. In fact, you'll be so excited at the rate of progress that you experience at the community. So as Victoria comes on to show us how to use the app, I'll also come back on to show you that you can join the community and start to talk with other people. You can join the general community if that's what you want to do right now and upgrade later. Or if you think that in the general community, you don't have me one-on-one, you just have general answers and questions will be asked in the group. But in the exclusive community, you have me one-on-one, 24/7. I'm sharing stock recommendations, selections, and I'm also showing you news. Remember that Deborah mentioned that there's some news that will just come up. So all those research, I, as a finance coach, I do that. So you don't even have to disturb yourself, and they are verified information. So as I'm sharing, I'm showing you, for example, the day that the Blue Rail train started in Lagos, I told my community, I said, watch the banks that are financing this, they will grow. They were shocked because as I last there, when we bought into those banks, we bought Sterling Bank at 3 naira 50 kobo. Sterling Bank is now 6 naira 60 kobo. Just because I heard the news, I did my personal research and I shared with my community and everybody took a position. So some people have gained over 300% from their investment. I have a client that puts 100,000 in a Transcorp hotel, and by January the next 1 year, 8 months thereabout, it was cashing out 1.4 million. So these are the things that happen in the community. Practical steps, I show you, I guide you, you do it very well by yourself. You ask questions, and even if you're in the general group, people answer you. If you're in the exclusive group, I answer you 20